All right. Good morning, everybody. I got the gavel this morning. All right. Well,
We were supposed to hide that.
what's that?
The gavel's too powerful. We were supposed to hide that somewhere.
It's much too powerful. Well, welcome to the 599th board meeting of the California Regional Water Quality Control Board, Central Valley Region in Sacramento. This meeting of the Central Valley Regional Water Quality Control Board is now called to order at 9:01 a.m. on Friday, June 20th, 2025, and a quorum of the board is present. This meeting is being live streamed, and the full video will be available on YouTube. I am Nick Avdis, the chair of the Central Valley Water Board. I will now introduce other board members in just 1 minute. I first want to go through our emergency evacuation procedure. Please look around and identify the two exits closest to you in the event of a fire alarm. We are required to gather our valuables and evacuate. If we are required to evacuate the room, gather your valuables. We'll evacuate to Cesar Chavez Park, which is across the street. Please obey traffic signals and be careful when crossing the street. Mindy, please, can you please begin by providing instructions for members of the public that plan to participate in today's meeting?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mindy Bunn, and I am clerk of the board. I'll begin by sharing some information about how public participation will be organized for today's meeting. If you wish to make a verbal comment on one of the board items or during the public forum, you must be attending either in person, through the Zoom platform, or by calling in via phone. If you're currently watching the webcast on CalSpan but would like to make a comment, please email me now at agenda5@waterboards.ca.gov to request the Zoom link. If you're already on the Zoom webinar and wish to speak but have not pre-registered, please raise your hand and you'll be called upon. If you're using a computer or tablet, click the raise hand button. If you're calling in by phone, press *9 to raise your hand. Generally, in-person commenters will be called upon first, followed by Zoom and phone participants. If you're here in person and wish to speak but haven't completed a blue comment card and given it to a staff member, or if you're on Zoom and haven't raised your hand, you may miss your opportunity to speak. Staff will call each commenter by name, and your microphone will be unmuted. If you're calling in by phone, staff will identify you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. For the record, please state your name and who you are representing before speaking. This is especially important for those testifying on an item. Unless you've been granted additional time, each speaker will have 3 minutes. A bell will sound when your time is up. Please speak from a quiet location to minimize background noise. And finally, a friendly reminder to our board members, presenters, and staff. Please mute yourself when not speaking to reduce background noise, and if possible, keep your camera on when speaking.
Thank you. Thank you, Mindy. I will now introduce the other board members as follows. Elena Lee Reeder of Sacramento here to my right, Mark Bradford of Sacramento to my left, to my far right, Denise Cadara of Allensworth, to my far left, Art Baggett of El Portal. Sean Yang is with us virtually. Sean, can you hear us? Are you there? Yep. All right. Thank you, Sean. And I'm Nick Avdis of Sacramento. So also joining us is Nicole Morgan, and she will provide an update a little bit later. I do want to extend my gratitude to Nicole, without whose help I wouldn't have made it up here to the podium, given the maze that I had to fight through. So thank you, Nicole. I will now introduce our Executive Officer, Patrick Palupa, who will in turn introduce the staff. But before that, I'd like to have everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Salute and pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. Patrick?
Good morning, Chair Avdis, members of the board. I do want to extend our thanks to the folks here at the State Water Board. I think I saw the State Board clerk somewhere around here. Hi. Courtney and the rest of our team for accommodating us. As you may know, the Rancho Cordova office has a fairly significant construction project going on right now. So that's why we're here. We may be remote for the August meeting as well. Those plans are still in flux. To introduce the staff of the Central Valley Water Board, directly in front of me is Mindy Bunn, who is clerk to the board and executive assistant to the executive team. To my immediate right is Jessica Yar, senior staff counsel. To her, actually, this whole configuration is a little different. I'll start all the way down at the right. We have Christina Shoup, who runs our board's Fresno office. To her left is Clint Snyder, who runs the board's Reading office. To his left, I think I see him, JJ Baum, who is one of the assistant executive officers in the Rancho Cordova office. I believe Adam Lapitz is also in the audience. There you go. Next to Nicole Morgan, who is another assistant executive officer in the Rancho Cordova office. To JJ's left is Chris Moskal with the Office of Chief Counsel, and to his left, Kennedy Knight, also with the Office of Chief Counsel. And I do want to thank Jean and Tony, who are the IT staff that have come down from the Rancho Cordova office to help us run this meeting remotely. And with that, I'll turn it back to you.
You said the state board member, you said she was with the Cordova office.
Oh, Adam Lapitz next to Nicole Morgan. Adams with the Rancho Cordova office.
All right, thank you, Patrick, and thanks, everyone. We'll now go on to board member communications. We'll go ahead and start out to my right. Denise, do you have anything?
Couple of items. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. My board communication since our last meeting, on 28th of April, I had an interim solution meeting with the Cutler Rossi, not Cutler Rossi, but with the Cutler Community and Community Water Center. I have two dates here, the 28th and the 30th. I don't know if they were those 2 days or one of those days, but meeting with them regarding emergency needs for safe drinking water. 29th of April, I participated in a MLRP workshop, multiple land repurposing program workshop. The 1st and 2nd of May, I participated in the water quality coordinating annual meeting. And 16th of May, I attended the Integrated Climate Adaptation Resiliency Program Technical Advisory Council, of which I serve. June 2nd of June, I participated in a check-in on the Cutler community with our board staff and the Community Water Center. And those are my updates for this morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, and I did manage to look it up, Denise. It was on the 30th that we had the meeting for Cutler. And yes, and part of me does wish Nicole was still at the Rancho Cordova office. She is a proud alumni of the Central Valley Water Board, but has moved on to bigger and better things these days.
Thank you.
Hi, board member Lee Reeder here for my report out. On May 6th, I attended the Sacramento Rail Yards tour. We heard from the site restoration experts about various remediation technologies being used to clean subsurface contamination. And on June 19th, yesterday, I had the pleasure of attending the City of Sacramento Combined Sewer System tour. That's all I have for now.
Thank you. Art, you have anything? Nope. Mark?
Yeah, on May 1st and 2nd, I attended WQCC, the Water Quality Coordinating Committee meetings that were held here in this room. Quite a bit of discussion about budgets and staff impacts. And then I also toured the Combined Sewer System tour yesterday in the afternoon. So that's it for me.
All right. Sean, do you have any communications you wanted to?
No, I'm done at this point. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'd just like to comment. I did attend the combined sewer tour yesterday, and I really appreciate the tour from the team that was there to host us, and it was a great experience for us. So thank you, and the staff that attended with us as well.
Thank you, Denise. And I went to the WQCC. I did the rail yards tour, and I also did the combined sewer system tour. And I also want to extend my appreciation and gratitude to the Department of Utilities at the City of Sacramento. A lot of good work that happens behind the scenes, and getting a firsthand bird's eye view of how sewage is treated in the CSS was very eye-opening and very much appreciated. I would advise, though, next time perhaps have the snacks on the front end rather than the end of the tour. In any event, it was a good thought. All right, so at this point, I would like to ask Nicole Morgan to provide an update from the State Water Board.
So I believe you got, am I good? Okay. So good morning, Chair Abbas and members of the board. It's a pleasure to join you this morning, and I thank Mr. Plupa for his belief in me that I can take on two very important roles, one huge role at the Central Valley, while also fulfilling my role at the State Board. It was a pleasure to join the morning tour yesterday at the combined sewer system. And it's always good to get out and see the great work that is going on, and to just also learn more and see more about just what the facilities that are doing, get out there on the ground and be in person. Also, I unfortunately missed the rail yards tour, hoping to get a chance to get out there and also just see more of what's happening within the rail yards. That's important. Just redevelopment improvements that are going on and happening here in the city of Sacramento. So always grateful for the work that the Central Valley Board is doing and the opportunity to join you when I can to see the work that is happening within your region. So the first, just within my reports, WQCC was held, as we just heard, on May 1st and 2nd. It was good to see several members from your board, also from other regional boards. It is the only opportunity we have throughout the year for all of us to get together in person and virtually just to have a good conversation, hear about the work that is occurring throughout the state. So as always, it's good to see everyone and to have those conversations. Also in May, the state board adopted updates to the Clean Water SRF and Drinking Water SRF policies. So annually, we talk about the attendant use plans. So the policies are that that backdrop, that guiding document that the attendant use plans are developed from. So those are not updated annually. Those are, made perhaps every 5 years, perhaps longer. And so this year here, staff have been working on those, working with stakeholders and groups to see what updates were needed. So those were brought in front of us in early May, I believe on May 6th, and we adopted those updates. And so the attendant use plans may look a little different just because the policies were updated through that process. Speaking of the attendant use plans, just earlier this week, a lot going on this week, we had a workshop on the Clean Water attendant use plan. Next month, we will be having a workshop on the Drinking Water attendant use plan. I thought it was a good day we had the workshop with just the clean water this year. Last year, we had the workshop on both the clean water and the drinking water at the same time. Comments were taken on both. And while that was great, there was a lot of efficiencies there. This year, I really appreciate hearing just about the clean water and having that moment to just really focus on one area. Next month, we'll do the same for the drinking water and really just being able to dive in, hear the comments from our stakeholders on just drinking water and really take our time of moving through each one of those important documents and making sure that we are giving each the time that they are due. Other things that are happening, the Delta Conveyance Project, which is on ex parte, can't talk a lot about that, but just want to let you know that that is continuing. Our Administrative Hearing Office has released its fifth amended hearing notice for the hearings. The evidentiary portion, there were many dates. I won't read all those off to you. Policy statements were held in person and by Zoom on May 19th, June 10th, and 11th. And there's always additional information that is on the AHO, the Administrative Hearing Office's webpage. Notices also do regularly go out. So this is also the time of year where there are meetings regarding our fees. And so water quality certification, water quality fees were just, meetings were just held on those. And so we just did the drinking water EGLAP and the water quality and water right fees. And so every year, the state board fee branch takes a look at where our fees are set, and are the fees adequate, or if there's any adjustments. These adjustments could be up or down, and just making sure we're taking in the right amount of fees to cover our operation costs. And so meetings are held in the spring, and then the fee adjustments are then brought to the state board in the fall for our consideration. So those meetings are ongoing across all programs. Cross-connection control policy handbook. Large updates were done to this handbook. The handbook hadn't been updated in many, many years. I want to say perhaps decades, if I recall correctly. And so large updates need to be done to the handbook. Industry agreed with large updates. There ends up being a large amount of adjustments, and to the industry, and with those, we end up learning, and there needs to be adjustments that have to occur. And so our Division of Drinking Water has been working with the industry to understand where perhaps more refinements need to occur within the handbook. So they brought some of those more minor refinements back to the board, which we adopted earlier this week on Tuesday, to keep that moving forward, to make sure that we are being responsive, and we're making sure that we don't have cross contamination of our drinking water systems, while also being responsive to the industry. We did receive more comments, and we know that there are additional updates that perhaps need to be made. We're continuing to work with the industry to make sure that we understand what those additional updates may be, and are working through a process to the division is working through a process to make sure that they're hearing those and are looking for the best way and how to balance what the more, I'm going to call, larger adjustments may need to be to the handbook. So changing over to the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act, SGMA. So as you all know, there were, I believe, 7 basins that were referred to from Department of Water Resources over to the state board. So we've been working our way through the hearings, and on those, our staff have been meeting regularly with all basins that were referred over, and letting them know what the deficiencies are, working through and really trying to bring those basins up to the standard that has been expected. And so I am happy to say that on June 3rd, the State Board returned the Chowchilla groundwater subbasin back to the Department of Water Resources, consistent with the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act. So, this is the outcome that we would like for all, is that, if any basin happens to be referred over to the State Board, that our staff are able to work with them, help them to understand what those deficiencies are, what we and the Department of Water Resources may be looking for, and help them to be returned back to DWR. And so that happened with Chowchilla, and so they have been returned back to DWR, and we hope to be able to work with the rest of the basins to do the same. So last item here, East Rossi Public Administrator. So this is the first here on the wastewater side. So on the drinking water side, we had where if we had a failing drinking water system, we could assign an administrator. On the wastewater side, we did not have the same opportunity. So here recently, we received that authority at the state board, and the first that we have assigned an administrator is the East Orosi Community Services District. So they have been experiencing, some trouble for quite a long time, and they've been asking for some assistance. And so we were able to work with them and work with the county and come up and basically go ahead and assign an administrator to them. And so our executive director did that on June 13th. And so that is the first one for the wastewater side. So as for drinking water, we will continue to look at that program, continue to grow it, and look at the funding. And so in August, you'll come in front of the state board for our consideration of for funding to make sure that project continues to move along and that we are able to get the sanitation needs for the community. With that, I am here for any questions.
Thank you, Nicole. Does anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts to share with Nicole?
I just had a quick question. The wastewater treatment limited administrator, you said there was a limited administrator for wastewater treatment?
I just said, administrator. I think, there's always some limitations out there, but it is an administrator program that we have just now. This is the very first one that we're moving through, and so with anything, there's going to be some lessons learned, but we definitely want to be able to, when necessary, to have an administrator to help. For this one here, they were asking for this help.
No, and I appreciate hearing that. So with the wastewater treatment situation, the same thing is applying to the drinking water. And where we are in the valley, we are part of that limited administrative system, and there are a lot of kinks to be worked out. But it's necessary to help bring the community service districts up to par and to be able to be in compliance. So we definitely appreciate the services and the assistance, and hopefully we'll get those kinks worked out soon. Also, I wanted to just comment on the GSA that was returned back to DWR Child Chiller, which is a good thing, and we're hoping that the others will fall in line and figure out a solution to be in compliance as well. So thank you for your report this morning.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Nicole, thank you very much, as always.
And thank you all.
All right, we'll now move on to the public forum portion of the agenda. If you are a person at the meeting and wish to speak but have not submitted a speaker card, please fill out a blue card at the reception table. Give it to a staff member. If you are on the Zoom platform and wish to speak, but not have yet registered, please raise your hand. Mindy, has anyone submitted a request to speak on items not on the agenda today?
No commenters.
All right. So with that, we'll keep moving on. On to the executive officer's report. So prior to each meeting, the executive officer works with the board clerk and with the board's program managers to compile a report on the status of the board's programs, its staffing, and many different initiatives the board is working on. I'll hand it over here to Patrick at this point.
And I do have a couple awards, and I'll stand up in just a minute for that. I do want to first say a couple words about the passing of somebody who was really, really important to this board. Just a couple weeks ago, we found about the untimely passing of Dr. Ken Tate, who we've worked with quite extensively to better understand rangeland habitat and other issues in the north of our region. Too young, and he was an extraordinary researcher who was able to bridge the gap between environmentalists, rangeland operators, growers, regulators like us, and the scientific community. He was one of the first who worked in rangeland management for controlled burns and really helped understood the water quality and other impacts of rangeland activities, and really enhanced just about every aspect of our irrigated lands program with his input. So really, heart goes out to his family. I will send all the board members a link to the memorial website, and if you want to add some comments there. But really tough to hear, and I know he meant a lot to many of you as we went up on those tours up in the north part of our region. Without further ado, I've got a couple awards. Is Lisa Wilson here virtually or in person? All right. Since this is, oh, is this on? Okay. No green light on this one. We're making this up as we go along. I don't know this room too well. I'm very proud to present a Superior Accomplishment Award to Lisa Wilson, engineering geologist who works heavily within our 303D project. The Federal Clean Water Act requires that California report on the quality of its surface waters every 2 years. To meet this requirement, California develops the integrated report. To develop the integrated report, data from California's surface waters are evaluated and, if appropriate, assessed to determine if they contain pollutants at levels that exceed water quality standards. The Central Valley region covers about 40% of the state and includes over 1,200 water body segments requiring assessment. Historically, the Central Valley region assessed the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta using subareas, which grouped individual water bodies together. Lisa Wilson, engineering geologist in the Non-Point Source Planning and Assessment Unit, has worked on the integrated report since December of 2018. After learning the complexities of the integrated report, Lisa recommended an approach for the Delta to better reflect water quality conditions that align with the assessment approach used for the remainder of the region and the state. This new approach began the process of remapping and reassessing the Delta for the integrated report. Lisa created a plan for this initiative, which was divided into 2 phases. The first phase focused on dividing water body segments at the Delta boundary, leading to 14 updated segments that better reflect the spatial and temporal characteristics of the water body, as well as the site-specific objectives. This process involved reassociating water quality stations, revising over 1,000 lines of evidence, making new decisions for the integrated report, and retiring several water body segments. The second phase of the project involved extracting data by location from the 7 Delta subareas and moving that data to the corresponding water body segment. The process included station reassociation, over 500 revised lines of evidence, new integrated report decisions, and the retirement of 7 Delta subareas. Lisa took the lead on this entire initiative, collaborating with the State Water Board's Division of Water Quality to outline the necessary steps for project completion, carrying out most of the work herself. She closely monitored all aspects of the project, ensured that staff stayed on track with their assignments, and provided regular updates to management as needed. The project took about 4 years to complete, primarily due to its complexity and the fact that Lisa was also concurrently managing her regular integrated report responsibilities. The project has made the integrated report Delta assessment process more transparent for the board and for the public. The project itself would not have been feasible without Lisa's knowledge, expertise, and willingness to go above and beyond in her role in the integrated report. As such, she is worthy of the Superior Accomplishment Award and we are extremely lucky to have her working with the Central Valley Water Board. And I will say, there's a lot of special terms of art in that presentation that was there from between lines of evidence, integrated report. But suffice it to say that folks like Lisa, when they work through these projects, they have to be aware of some of the most cutting edge decisions, GIS tools, you name it, to figure out whether the water body segments within our region are meeting water quality standards or not. This goes back through historical data. This goes back through historical mapping. This involves a lot of technical decision, lines of evidence. It sounds simple. These are actually fairly sophisticated reports that come into a centralized database. You have to compare those, whether they work, whether they don't. Extraordinary work. And this is just, the SSA focuses on a recent accomplishment. Lisa's been doing this for a little over 7 years now. So lots of credit to her. And with that, I'll present the award. I don't know how we take a picture here.
Are we doing that?
I think we do this part up here. And I know Mindy wants one for the website.
Well, thank you, Lisa, for your hard work and dedication.
Okay.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Great job.
I don't see Olivia here today. Is that right, Clint? Is Olivia Matthews online? All right, fantastic. Is she able to say whether she's online or not?
Ms. Matthews, we're promoting you to a panelist. You can unmute yourself.
I got to give a lot of credit to Gene and Tony here. It's like, stepping into the cockpit of a different airplane and learning to fly the thing just for this meeting. Lots of thought goes into this process. So thanks so much, Gene. All right. The second Superior Accomplishment Award goes to Olivia Matthews in the Irrigated Lands program within the Reading office. Olivia is being recognized for her outstanding work in the Irrigated Lands Regulatory Program. She joined the board's Reading office in May of 2024 as an environmental scientist, and in this short time has made considerable contributions to the program. Olivia serves as the liaison to the Sacramento Valley Water Quality Coalition, a third-party group that represents growers in the Sacramento River watershed, and has quickly gained the respect of coalition staff, consultants, and delegates of the subwatersheds that constitute the Sacramento Valley Water Quality Coalition. Through her participation in coalition meetings, she has formed personal relationships and has proven to be responsive and professional in her work. Olivia is eager to learn and take on new projects. In her new position, she quickly developed knowledge of the program and took the initiative to advance program work that had lapsed due to staff vacancies. In addition to her core workload, Olivia took on the challenging task to determine whether data supported the exemption of irrigated agriculture in the Upper Pitt watershed from the Irrigated Lands Regulatory Program. Over several months, Olivia participated in on-site farm inspections and outreach meetings with growers, reviewed complex technical data, and worked collaboratively with the UC Davis Cooperative Extension to demonstrate the subwatershed's low threat to water quality from agricultural operations. In February of 2025, Olivia presented an informational item on the findings to the Central Valley Water Board and is currently preparing a subsequent board meeting presentation for the board to consider the exemption of the subwatershed from program requirements. Olivia's presentation to the board demonstrated her confidence and professionalism well beyond her years of experience, and she continues to excel in her position. Olivia is often required to juggle multiple work items and various demands of her time. She follows through with her many tasks and is conscientious and hardworking. Her positive attitude and aptitude to learn are an asset to the program. The Central Valley Water Board is fortunate to have Olivia as part of its staff and greatly appreciates her contributions. As all of you know, Sacramento Valley Coalition is a very different coalition than many of the other South Valley coalitions. Sometimes it's harder to earn their trust, and it's remarkable how quickly Olivia has been able to listen to their concerns and essentially really be embraced as a regulator that understands the water quality issues and the water quality constraints that these growers operate under. And again, when she gave that I know they said it in the Superior Accomplishment Award nomination. When she gave the presentation in February, it was my understanding that she had been with the board for years. She had really just picked up the ball a few months prior and really quickly demonstrated her expertise with the program. So congratulations, Olivia. We'll have a certificate waiting for you back at your office.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olivia. Having visited the Pitt River subwatershed and obviously talked to stakeholders within the last year, I've definitely seen the respect and the relationship strength that Olivia has built with folks up there, which has really made that conversation a much better one. And Olivia, it's recognized and appreciated. So thank you very much. All right.
And that's it for today.
All right. So with that, Mindy, do we have any requests to speak on the executive officer's report from the public?
No commenters.
Any further questions or comments from board members? Okay, we'll move on. So are there any edits or corrections to the April 25th meeting minutes? No? All right, I'll take a motion.
I'd move.
And a motion by Art,
I'll second.
second. Elena, please call the roll. Mindy?
Board Member Kadara,
Yes.
Board Member Bradford,
Yes.
Board Member Yang,
Yes.
Board Member Baggett,
Yes.
Vice Chair Lee Reader,
Aye.
and Chair Abdus.
Yes. All right, moving on to the uncontested calendar. I know we had some late revisions, so just to confirm, Mindy, we have items 10 through 18. Is that correct? All right, a point of clarification for council. I noticed one of the firms under permittees under item 16 is a name that I recognized as a potential past client of my law firm, so I would like to abstain
Okay.
from that. So how would procedurally we do that relative to the motion to approve the consent?
We can either take that one separate and do a separate vote for just that one item, or you can abstain from the entire vote.
Okay. So I can stay at the dais and just abstain from the whole vote?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do that. That'll be smoother. Okay. Do I have a motion for the uncontested calendar?
So moved.
Okay, I got a motion?
With the late revisions.
What's that? With the late
With the late
revisions?
revisions.
Yes.
And we do want to identify which of the items we'd be removing from this vote.
Oh, yes. Item 16. Wait, so for me, I'm going to abstain from the entire vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just going to be easier. Yeah. All right. So we have a motion
I'll second.
and a second by Bradford. Mindy, please call the roll.
Board Member Kadara,
Yes.
Board Member Bradford,
Yes.
Board Member Yang,
Yes.
Board Member Baggett,
Aye.
Vice Chair Lee Reader,
Aye.
Chair Abdus.
I abstain. All right. On to item number 9. All right. At this time, the board will consider the stipulated cease and desist order for E&J Gallo Winery, Fresno Winery, Fresno County. If you're a person in the meeting and not yet submitted a speaker card, please fill one out at the table in front of the meeting room and give it to a staff person. Is there anyone present who is contesting the proposed actions and wishes to present evidence or testimony on this matter? Mindy, do we have anyone?
We do have a interested person, but I don't believe we have anybody that's contesting.
Okay, so can we just have a quick refresh on the procedure on that, council, please, Jessica?
Yeah, if they are not contesting the hearing, you could listen to their comment and then decide whether you want to have a full presentation on the item afterwards.
Okay, so at this time, we'll call who do we want to call the commenter?
That would be Ms. Joanne Kipps.
All right, Ms. Kipps, are you here or online?
Chair Abdus, she is online, has her hand raised. I will promote her to speak. Ms. Kipps, you can unmute yourself.
All right, Ms. Kipps, please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Great. Okay. Well, good morning, Board Chair and board members. I'm Joanne Kipps. I represent myself. I'm a Fresno resident, civil engineer, and retired senior water resource control engineer. During my 12 years with the Central Valley Regional Board's Fresno office, I advocated for formal enforcement against Gallows Fresno Winery. Since my retirement in 2010, I have informed the board in several public forums about the groundwater nitrate pollution caused by Gallows discharge to land near the Fresno Yosemite International Airport. In 2016, I was briefly encouraged by staff's release of a draft cleanup and abatement order for Gallows Fresno Winery, but disappointed that it was never issued. So I want to thank management for finally agreeing to the need for the cease and desist order, and Gallo for stipulating to its terms and conditions. I would especially like to thank Mr. Jeff Hannell, engineering geologist, for his sustained efforts in overseeing this discharge and preparing this enforcement order. His experience and exemplary professional judgment were critical in challenging the validity of several technical assumptions advanced by Gallo's consulting engineers that attribute the increasing severity of groundwater nitrate pollution to Gallo's past discharge practices and not to the relatively recent material change in the nature of the discharge resulting from Gallo's well-intentioned implementation of pretreatment. The cease and desist order is an important first step in abating the groundwater nitrate pollution caused by Gallo's decades-long discharge. The next step is for the executive officer to issue a cleanup and abatement order requiring Gallo to contain the nitrate plume and stop it from spreading further off-site and contaminating additional municipal supply wells. I will continue monitoring this discharge and, if necessary, I will address the board again at its public forums to request a cleanup and abatement order if it is not issued by the end of next year. I look forward to the day when travelers arriving at the Fresno airport during crush will no longer ask, "What's that smell?" immediately upon exiting the terminal building. So in 5 years' time, this odor nuisance and the groundwater conditions, at least the board is starting to address this issue, and I greatly appreciate it. So again, thanks to management, thanks to Gallo, and especially thanks to Mr. Jeff Hannell. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kipps. So since no one's contesting this matter, the board will proceed based on the agenda materials and the record. Are there any late revisions or staff comments on this item? No? Does council have any legal issues at this point to discuss?
No.
All right, the hearing is now closed. I'll entertain a motion for the item to approve the stipulated CDO for E&J Gallo Winery.
Yeah. I would so move.
A motion by Art,
I'll second.
second Denise. Please call the roll, Mindy.
Board Member Kadara,
Yes.
Board Member Bradford,
Yes.
Board Member Yang,
Yes.
Board Member Baggett, Vice Chair Lee Reader,
Aye.
and Chair Abdus.
Yes. And I think that is it. Do we have any other items? I think
Any closed session items?
There are none. That's it for today.
I'm taken a little aback by the shortness of this meeting. It kind of caught me flat-footed.
Set a world record in
Yeah.
your second.
I know my second meeting and I only, do I even get an hour? I didn't even get an hour. I know. I know. Thank you for driving all that way, both to Art and Denise. We can have a little story time if we want. A little, we got, another 15 minutes in any event.
I will say, my gratitude goes out to all the folks who put together just extraordinary effort to get a number of permits across the line. They were negotiating these permits right up until Adam, go here. Right up until about 4:30 yesterday. A lot of late hours went into it. As you know, the state's fiscal year starts on July 1. So to get our beans counted, we have to make sure that these permits are done and approved by the board by that July 1 deadline. It matters a lot. It matters a lot to the feds. It matters a lot to the permittees that need these permits to operate. And an extraordinary amount of work went into getting the uncontested permits in front of you. So just want to say thanks to staff. We held the door open just in case many of them were going down to the wire. So we held the door open just in case we had hearings on them. We did not, and that was largely due to application of a huge amount of technical expertise and a lot of conversations with dischargers and stakeholders.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick,
Yeah.
for saying that because
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, it takes a lot of work and the staff, you guys, it's phenomenal. That's the way the system should work, in my opinion. It means you're actually talking to the dischargers and you're working things out. And that's, I think it's really to be commended.
Yeah, agreed. And I know we do the Superior Achievement Awards sort of on the executive officer's report, but the reality is there's superior achievement, superior effort happening every day in preparation for these hearings and issuing these permits. So pass on our appreciation, Adam. It is appreciated, and we don't have to wait for an executive officer's report to recognize that. We understand and we get it. So thank you. So
And I like to add, when we were doing the tour yesterday afternoon, one of the staff from Public Utilities, Lisa Moretti, acknowledged the work that you guys were doing, even though they weren't directly impacted on this round. And she was very aware how many permits were being churned. So she appreciated that. And it's good to know that the regulated community is very aware as well. I thought you were just doing it to dodge the tour because you heard it was a little odoriferous, but
Adam does not dodge any tours, if you know.
thank you, Adam.
The date of our next meeting.
yes, okay. What is the date of our next meeting
August 21st and 22nd.
and what the location?
I think that depends on the,
To be determined.
Yeah.
To be determined. The contractors will be another part of the job. We'll be having a conversation with them the week of the 30th and getting an updated construction schedule and make plans accordingly.
It was a short meeting for us, but a lot of work behind the scenes for you guys. So we certainly appreciate all of it, the tremendous work that you guys do for the board.
All right, with that, if there are no other comments, I would like to adjourn the meeting in memory of Dr. Tate.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. My record,